Greetings from On the Move with Dave B's Kitchen. We recently finished our extended road trip. We started in New York State, ending up in Texas, and then traveling along the Gulf Coast and back up the East Coast, arriving back home in early November. We had hoped to make a video for each of our stops, but due to hours of video coverage, photographs, and time editing, we had to combine it into one video. Thanks for coming along. We hope you enjoy. On this extended road trip, we decided to use our Harvest Host membership to its full potential. Our second Harvest Host stop was at Today's Harvest in New Paris, Ohio. What a fabulous place to spend the evening. The people were great, the market was wonderful, our view was spectacular as we overlooked a field of sunflowers. What a great stop for overnight. During our stay at Today's Harvest, they were setting up for their fall festival, including constructing this slide. As we were speaking to one of their employees, they challenged me to try it out. So I did. What fun! Our Harvest Host stop at Today's Harvest just kept giving. We were awakened with a beautiful sunrise to start our day. And then Dave went back in the market because they make fresh donuts every morning. Oh my goodness, we've already blown our diet on the second day. Our third Harvest Host stop was at Tuscan Hills Winery in Effingham, Illinois. This was a convenient stop for us right off the highway. They had a very large gravel parking lot that was level and in a beautiful neighborhood that we spent the afternoon taking a walk and taking in the sights. They had a beautiful tasting room and beautiful outdoor space and live music on Friday night. What another fun stop. As we traveled on 9/11, it was amazing to see the American spirit alive and well as we witnessed many tributes on bridges like this one. Hello, Missouri! We decided to take a little break in our journey, and we stayed at the Memphis KOA Journey in Marion, Arkansas. The best surprise we got is they have fabulous food delivered to the RV. Barbecue, biscuits and gravy. I would stay here again just for the food. After several days on the road, we finally made it to Texas. Our next stop in our journey was at Whitetail Ranch, which was a Harvest Host stay. They're situated in DeKalb, Texas. This is a privately owned ranch on over 200 acres of property. We were greeted by the chickens, the peahens, and the donkeys. They had fresh eggs to purchase and a cute little store where we enjoyed shopping and purchasing some squash pickles and some very fiery spices. This was a great overnight stay. We had a large area to park in, and the gentleman we met there was very friendly. Our next Harvest Host stop was at Walker Honey Farm and Dancing Bee Winery in Rogers, Texas. This was another great stop for us as they had a large parking lot and plenty of space for us to park and maneuver. They had beautiful outdoor space for their tastings as well as a lovely tasting room indoors. We enjoyed a large charcuterie platter while we tasted their wines and while we enjoyed the scenery surrounding us. We also sampled many of their honeys and made quite a few purchases while we were there. Another great experience. Well, after several days on the road, we finally made it to La Hacienda RV Resort in Austin, Texas. This was our home base while we were in Austin as we were there to celebrate our son's wedding. We do have one note for you. If your GPS tells you to take Eck Road, ignore it. Stay on Hudson Bend Road. There's no weight limits and no bridges and no height restrictions, and Eck Road will definitely get you into trouble. The park was great, large, clean, and walking distance to several restaurants where we enjoyed takeout several times. Our first night in Austin was fabulous, as our son and his fiancée treated us to dinner from Rudy's. What a great welcome to Austin. The rest of our time in Austin was spent celebrating our son and his now wife as we gathered with family to witness their wedding. Well, our time in Austin is finished and we've decided to move on further south in Texas. We are going to Jamaica Beach RV Resort in Galveston, Texas. We were inspired to visit there by YouTubers Tom and Stacy of RV Texas, y'all. We discovered that they were right. Jamaica Beach is a beautiful place, it's a beautiful park, and it's walking distance to the Gulf beaches. What more could you want? We spent our first evening exploring the beaches of Galveston. Beautiful sunset, beautiful beach, great walkability. But, oh yikes, rattlesnakes in the dunes? No thanks. We had a fun afternoon exploring historic downtown Galveston, and of course we had to get a treat. One of our favorite ways to spend our afternoons at the Jamaica Beach RV Resort was in the lazy river. The temperatures were warm while we were there and the water was just right. Dave and I spent many afternoons floating along the lazy river. As you can see, it was quite relaxing and a lot of fun. Our last day on the beach at Galveston before we move on. What a perfect day it was to walk on the beach, enjoy the sunshine and the blue skies and the beautiful kites that a gentleman had put out for all to enjoy. Well, we're moving along in our journey, and our next Harvest Host stop is at Landry Vineyards in West Monroe, Louisiana. What a beautiful find! They have a very large area for us to park in. They're right off the highway. They have a lovely tasting room and property. We enjoyed a tasting while we were here, and especially enjoyed our view of their vineyards and their unique antique truck. As we continued our journey east, we found ourselves at the KOA Meridian East Tumsuba Journey in Tumsuba, Mississippi. This was a quick overnight stop, but we certainly enjoyed all their efforts in decorating for Halloween. Someone went to a lot of work here, and we really appreciated it. We continued our journey east and another Harvest Host stop. We stayed at Fort Bayou Brewing Company in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. This was a restaurant and brewery combined. They had a great level, large parking lot for us, and we had the restaurant mostly to ourselves as we enjoyed several flights as well as dinner. What a fun stop in Mississippi. Well, we finally made it to Florida and our next destination, the Emerald Beach RV Park in Navarre, Florida. This is a small park on the Sound and a short drive over the causeway to Gulf beaches. What a beautiful place that we discovered here. We also met some great people while we were there. Shout out to Brian and Suzanne and Bill and Julie. We hope you're watching, and if you are, we wish you continued safe travels and new adventures. During our time at Emerald Beach RV Park, we discovered sunsets are a thing, and we enjoyed them every night. We enjoyed exploring the beaches of Navarre, Florida. They have beautiful white powdery sand and beautiful clear green water. What a great way to spend a day. As we mentioned earlier, sunsets are a thing in Navarre. We decided to go out on the Gulf Islands National Seashore, and this sunset was absolutely spectacular. Goodbye for now, Navarre. We'll see you again soon. We continue to move east in our journey, and our next Harvest Host stop took us to Tallahassee Automobile and Collectible Museum in Tallahassee, Florida. This is a very large property that had a ton of space for us to park and maneuver. The museum itself is quite unique and very eclectic, and we enjoyed spending an afternoon exploring. The collection at the Tallahassee Automobile and Collectible Museum is mind-boggling. We had many favorites, but I think out of everything, the cars took first place, especially the muscle cars. We worked up quite an appetite exploring at the museum. Much to our delight, Backwoods Crossing Farm to Table restaurant was just across the street, so we treated ourselves to some delicious takeout. Well, goodbye to Florida for now. It's time to move up the East Coast. Hello, Georgia. Our next Harvest Host stop was in Richmond Hill, Georgia at Double-Ation Brewing Company. They had a great area to park in, fun spot, good food, good beer, nice people. We definitely would like to return here for another visit. Well, we continue our trek north and our next stop is in South Carolina. This was also a Harvest Host stop at Cartersville Country Winery in Timmonsville, South Carolina. We arrived here on a Sunday, so the winery was closed, but the owners graciously allowed us to stay, and we also were able to do a self-led tasting. We had a really nice evening, great place to park, and a fun time. After our self-led wine tasting at Cartersville Country Winery, we decided we needed to get some exercise and try to get our steps in. As we were exploring the property, a friendly staff member suggested we take a walk down the dirt road that we saw. What a beautiful sight! Fields and fields of cotton. It looked like fields of marshmallows. It was so beautiful, and what a way to end our visit there. Our next stop was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Myrtle Beach Travel Park. Wow, what a fabulous location. Walking distance to the beach, a chance to visit with family, and Dave got to fish. We could have spent a lot longer here. This is a great park. While we were in Myrtle Beach, I was really hungry for some coconut shrimp, so Dave found a place to buy shrimp fresh off the boats and made us a feast of coconut shrimp. Cooked it on the Blackstone outside. Perfect and delicious. Well, we continue our trek north as we hit North Carolina. Another Harvest Host stop finds us at Windsor Run Cellars in Hamptonville, North Carolina. This was a great little stop. It's a beautiful winery, beautiful vineyards, and a lovely tasting room. They had great outdoor space, and we enjoyed having our tasting outside on their deck, as well as having a little treat of cheese and crackers. This was a great Harvest Host stop, and they had great parking space for us and a lot of room for us to maneuver. Well, we're traveling further north and it's after Halloween, but we are seeing fields full of pumpkins. Well, we continue to make our trek northward, and as you can see, there's still color on the trees, but it's definitely fall. We are staying at a Flatwoods KOA in Sutton, West Virginia. While exploring the campground and taking a little walk, we discovered the custard stand. Their hot dog chili soup comes highly rated, so we thought we'd try it. It was alright, but the French fries, they were amazing. And the custard, that was pretty good too. Well, we've made it to Pennsylvania and our final Harvest Host stop. We are in Clinton, Pennsylvania at Janoski's farm. We chose Janoski's farm in Clinton, Pennsylvania because of its proximity to some of our family. It was a great stop. We enjoyed the chickens, the potbelly pig, and especially the donkeys. We enjoyed exploring all their outdoor spaces, but man, it was cold. We enjoyed exploring outside at Janoski's, but we were glad to go inside to warm up. They had a great farmer's market filled with all kinds of produce, baked goods, jams and jellies, and just about anything you could think of. Thanks again for a great visit, Janoski's. And the icing on the cake was time spent with our family. Well, we've made it back to New York State, our home base. We hope you have enjoyed traveling along with us on our epic journey. Please consider liking and subscribing. We look forward to new adventures in 2022, and we hope you'll come along with us.